Hello there, 587ers, people who are enrolled in teaching and learning online. I don't know what to call you, so let's just say welcome to EDAP 587, Teaching and Learning Online. This is a quick heads up to everyone in the class about how the class is structured. We are what we call a blended class. You'll be learning all about that in this course, along with what an LMS is and a CMS and what knowledge building principles are all about, as well as constructivism, deep and shallow. There's a lot of things we cover before we even get into the building of your online presence, which is what this class is all about. This class will be structured around the fact that we will meet from 9 and if we need to, 10 classes. We will then allow you to go off and utilize the structure that you have built in this class with students or with just other children or with other faculty members, however you want to do it. It doesn't necessarily have to mean that you have to have a class with kids. So, having said that, let me give you a sense of the class. We will meet, as I said, between those 9 to 10 class times. You will then be given a period of about 4 weeks, 3 to 4 class periods to put your project in place, let it run. We will then meet the last 2 class periods and we will basically share with our creations. And of course our last class, as we have always done, will be a celebration, party, pizza fest, call it what you want to call it. We just have a good time. So let me give you a sense, especially those of you who are taking the class in an online venue, of some of the things you need to be aware of. But everyone else, you need to be aware of this as well. As you can see, we're ready to rock and roll here. This little building will have lots of meaning to you as the class goes on. If you want, here are basically the outline of the class. Right here is the syllabus, all set to go. I will bring a paper syllabus with me on next Tuesday. Announcements. You'll see that there are some tests that are posted here. The calendar, I will get that up and running. Otherwise, there's very little here. But here's where rubber meets the road. This class is broken up into modules. Each module represents 1 to 2 class meetings. As I said, we will move through this rather smartly. As you can see, our first module that we will look at has to do with the history of online learning. There's some information about it. And as you can see, there'll be a quiz at the end of this module. Some modules will have quizzes. Some modules will have things that we build. Our second module is all about the foundations of understanding online teaching and learning. This one is all about paradigm shifts, constructivism, inquiry-based learning, as well as using another book that you don't have to go and buy because I've uploaded it here. It's about 400 some odd pages long. Don't panic. We're only going to read the introduction in the first 2 chapters. We're going to use our first online presence, Schoology, or Schoology, as some people pronounce it. I say Schoology. Schoology. Anyway, we're going to actually create a post in there where we talk about our understandings of the foundations of online learning. Then we're going to get into something called knowledge building principles. If I were to say that this is the pivotal part of the course, well, here it is, right here. And as you can see, there's a long process or a long explanation here. We will build in another online presence called Edmodo using something called Blend Space, our understandings of one of the knowledge building principles. So if our class is small enough, we might have to take on 2 of them. There are 12. And we'll do that together where you'll get a first taste of where we now move to. Here's Edmodo. Edmodo is one of the online presences that you may use to build your online presence that you would use either with students, faculty, other adults, other children. I'm not going to dictate anything there to you. And as you can see here, we basically have our own, and this is the link, and this is the code if you want to go ahead and get in there and join. And then here's what we will be doing inside of your Edmodo space that you are going to build for class. Now, you're going to create your own Edmodo for your final, but for our class purposes, we're just going to build it in here. You get to give us a sense of your teacher demonstration. Same thing with Schoology. We're going to go into Schoology, see how it works, etc. If you'll notice when you click on these modules, inside of them there is more information about what we're doing than you can shake a stick at. You will find very quickly that I'm a great believer in the use of video as well as the written word, and so there's tons and tons of information in every one of these modules about whatever it is that we're doing. Okay? I expect you to look at things quickly, find the things that help you, and then take the time to really understand them. Schoology looks the same. It is full of videos and handouts, PDFs. That if you're the kind of person who likes to have paper in their hand and read while you do, I make sure you have that and you'll be able to do it. So here's Schoology, or Schoology, I'm going to stick with Schoology. Here we are, same thing, videos, handouts, so on. Now, as we get into the course, at some point we're going to reach the point where somebody's going to say, well, aren't these the same things? And in some ways they are, in some ways they're not. I'm going to let you kind of discover those differences and similarities. In fact, I've even got a video in here called Edmodo versus Schoology, right here, where that whole topic is discussed. The last thing that we will do before I kick you out is Blackboard Collaborate. Now, why Blackboard Collaborate? Blackboard Collaborate is a classic web-based web conferencing system. The fact that it's inside of Blackboard really doesn't mean anything because its real name is called Illuminate. And I have been using Illuminate long before Blackboard ever bought it. So I put it in here because I think you need to have an experience with actually running a web-based room. One of the things that you may come across if you continue down this path of becoming a specialist or becoming a district person, you will need to know how to use things like this. I believe in Jefferson County Public Schools they use GoToMeeting. Out in the state they use Link, which is related to Skype. But Skype and Link are nothing like what a web conference is. And so we're actually going to learn how to use Collaborate. Every one of you is going to have your own Collaborate session that you will create for us and teach us about something. Now, talking about Blackboard Collaborate, for those of you who are taking the class online, you will find the session link right here. And when I see you all next Tuesday, there will be a whole bunch of session links here. And they will represent one for each one of you. Now, you do not go into those. Those are going to be what you use to record your lesson that you're going to invite us into. But for right now, for you who are joining a class virtually, you're going to click on this link, and it will take you to this page. You then click on where it says Launch the Room. Launch the Room basically will give you a choice of either saving the file and then opening it, or you can try to open it with the Java that's loaded onto your computer. As you can see, my computer has Java already set up with Blackboard Collaborate. And so if you notice up here in the upper left, I can see where it says Blackboard Collaborate. It's starting the session. And as you can see, it's now downloading the app. By the way, once it does this one time, you don't have to do it again. What it's going to do next is, or it should do next, is it should bring up a window that says, do you want to run Blackboard Collaborate? In other words, do you want to run this Java app? And when that comes up, you're always going to tell it run. Unfortunately, this happens every time you use it. Well, it didn't that time. Well, how about that? So this is Blackboard Collaborate. If you're a virtual user, this is how you'll come into the session. I will have this already up and running, and what you'll see in this big white space right here is you will see the class Blackboard space, just like you're seeing in this video. Your name will appear over here. As you can see, there's mine. You do not send video. I don't want to see anybody's smiling faces up here. What you do send is audio. Now, to do this properly, you will need to be wearing a pair of headphones. Little earbuds plugged into the side of your head are fine. You will also need to have a microphone enabled on your computer. If you're not sure about any of this, what you can do is you can click up here and you can go into these various tools. The one you're going to be looking at is audio. And you can go into the audio setup wizard and you can go into your microphone settings so you can make sure everything is working properly within Collaborate. I will have the room always available an hour before class. I strongly urge you, if you are a virtual participant, you may pop into this an hour before class. I'll be there. And if you're having any problems, we can discuss it. You will find that this is a very robust system as long as I'm the only one sending out video. If others try to send in video, then things get a little squirrely. The good news is for everyone in the class, as you may have seen when I brought this up, it'll be recorded. Every class session will be recorded, and that recording will be kept right there where it says recording in our Blackboard thing. The Blackboard recordings will all be labeled as to what they are, starting with the first class next Tuesday. So if you can't be there for class, if you're running late, or whatever the reasons are, if you're a virtual participant and you need to see the class again because it may be a little bit harder to pick up on what we're doing when we're not there face to face, these recordings will always be there for you. So that's a quick tour of our Blackboard space. I look forward to seeing you all next Tuesday. We will be in room 201G in the ERTC. If you don't know where that is, just wander over to the ERTC, come upstairs to the second floor, head over to the ERTC. I'll be hanging around there. My post for the first week of class is to hang around and try to tell people which classroom to go to. Look forward to seeing all of you. I think you're going to have a really good time with this class. I'm very proud of the way it's set up, and I think we're going to be able to do some really interesting things, and at the same time, I know it's hard to believe that, and people who have been with me before know that we like the P word, play, and we also like to have fun. And I fully expect that we're going to be able to enjoy ourselves, relax, and really learn some new ideas, and especially some new frameworks around what teaching and learning online should really be about. See you next Tuesday. Bye.